Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today we are continuing the videos in the new Chinese heavy rocket booster tank line, and we have made it to the pinnacle of the line, the tier 10. I've got 3 replays to show you today in the BZ-75, and for me this tank was by far the best in the line, and I had the most fun playing this tank. I actually really enjoyed playing this one. So what I will do is, before I get into the 3 replays I've got to show you, I'll just quickly talk about the tank and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of the replays. So what do we have for this tank? You have, I'm sure you understand how the rocket boosters work, but we have 6 rocket boosters on this tank now, which is really good because you obviously, like the rest of the tanks in the line, you only have that top speed of 30 kilometers an hour, and the rocket boosters really help with that, and having 6 just means you're going to have more to use throughout the course of that game. It's going to help, of course, with your mobility. Now, you've got 8 degrees of gun depression, pretty decent armour when you're hull down, so you can play on those ridge lines. But then the best bit about this tank is that 650 alpha gun, what it has. And it really slaps hard. Like, you've only got a DPM of 2,971, which is okay, but it's not the best for a tier 10 heavy. But because you've got that 650 alpha, it just feels good. Like, you can really trade well with this tank. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So I think the accuracy on this gun was a lot less trolly than all the other tanks, all the other guns in the line. Like, I felt like when I run stabs with this gun, it actually felt pretty decent. You got 258 penetration in your AP rounds with 1,150 shell velocity, which is good for AP rounds. You then got 319 penetration on your heat rounds for 950 shell velocity, and then you got 90 alpha on your HE with 840 alpha. So those HE rounds can be really tasty as well. So that's enough of me briefly going over the tank. Let's get into the replays and we can talk about it a little bit more, along as showing you my crew and equipment setup I run. Okay, so here we are for replay number 1 then on Ardennes, where there's 1 enemy artillery, 1 enemy light tank, and it is the encounter battle. So Ardennes is obviously quite a big map, so I'm going to have to use quite a few of my rocket boosters at the start of this game to get to my position I want to take. I've decided I'm going to try and take the sort of BZ-79 line and get on that hill and try and fight any tanks which sort of contest that area. But I am going to use quite a few of the rocket boosters because, like I say, you do only have a 30 kilometers an hour top speed, and when you're not using rocket boosters, that's the biggest pain with this line. But having the 6 on this tank is really nice because it means I can burn a few extra rocket boosters to get to that position. So I'm actually going to use 4, I think, to actually get to where I want to go, which is obviously at the top of this hill. But Ardennes is a big map. Some maps you won't have to use as many to get to the positions. So we're making our way over. We do have a medium tank with us, 1 tank destroyer behind us. I'm expecting to see a couple of tanks appear on this ridge line, but we are able to get there pretty quickly with the rocket boosters, but it does mean we only have 2 remaining for the rest of the game. So we're going to make our advance to this position, just having a quick check to our left to see what tank was spotted, and there is an enemy machine who's dumping his clip on this medium tank. I do manage to then slap a shot into the side of the machine, and another thing with this tank is because it's got such a big caliber gun, it can be quite good for overmatching like the side armour of enemy tanks when they're trying to side scrape you, etc. Especially in the machine. The machine has no side armour whatsoever. We then put another big shot through that SU there. Like, you could use the ammo swapper on this tank if you wanted to, so then you could swap to your HE rounds, because I would have easily penned that tank and done a lot of damage. I just found that is an option. It's whatever you prefer. I just quite liked having the optics and the stabs, and obviously I'm never going to take the loader. So unfortunately my friendly tank with me does get taken out. I know the machine's fired. I think he's out on his clip. Yeah, he's definitely out of his clip. Oh no, he's not. He just penned me. But I don't think he has many left. But I wanted to try and get a shot into him, which I did. And now I'm going to pull back because he is on reload. I'm tempted to push around and kill the machine, but what's going through the back of my mind is there's probably stuff covering this machine from the distance at the back. And if I overextend around this hill there, I could get taken out and eat a lot of damage for trying to push around on the machine. So I think, you know what, I'm going to leave him. I'm not going to chase him. I'm going to go back towards the cap circle, because there's a few heavy tanks in that location. We might be able to get into the damage here. We're probably going to have to use our rocket booster here to try and catch up. And just try and get into that cap, because our friendly team are in the cap circle, and that means the enemy team are going to start coming that way. We finish off the MBTB there, putting us under 2,900 damage with our second kill, confirming our second kill. There is a one-shot tank destroyer here, the SU, I think we was fighting earlier, but he gets shut down by our friendly Panzerjäger. And now we're just making our way through the town, trying to get to the damage. We do use our last remaining rocket boosters to try and catch the distance, so we're going to be pretty slow after this. Hit a shot into the light tank there. It was a little bit awkward because my rocket booster was still going, so I was having to try and reverse to stop myself from continuing my trajectory forward. But we do unfortunately only track the light tank there, which is not ideal. I've just noticed behind me, I think that's that machine back up on that hill, but no way I'm going to go and chase that now. I just need to try and head to these damaging tanks in the heading towards the cap circle. Put a nice one into that light tank though, putting us onto 3,600 damage with a tiny amount blocked, which I assume is from that light tank. We are technically losing the game, but it's very, very close. We're only one tank down and it's a very even fight. I've still got the majority of our hit points, so I'm feeling fairly confident here. I'm going to try and head towards our friendly heavy tank and try and help him out there. Looking to get a shot into this enemy tier 8 heavy tank, putting him onto a one shot, putting us onto 4,200 damage. And I just want to try and get over to help our 705 as quick as we can. He's battling that E5 there. I've managed to stop the sort of enemy tier 8 from approaching him. Unfortunately, I could have aimed that shot a little bit better, to be honest, and taken out that tier 8 then. But he has fired as well, and I know he's going to be on reload for a while whilst I can try and make my approach. We should be able to finish him off. Or, in fact, I'm going to decide, I think, opt to shoot the E5, because I think our friendly tank was probably going to die if I didn't kill the E5, so I've managed to keep our friendly tank in the game there. And pick up another kill and put us onto 4,500 damage now. Now we should just be able to finish off this quite comfortably. You can see I can overmatch there, because I've got my big caliber, so I can just go straight through the side armor of that tank. So it's brought this game back. I'm on 5,000 damage with 4 kills, and there's still a lot of damage potential left in this game. So I could potentially have a big game here if I can manage to just try and hope that the enemy team are coming this way, because I can't be chasing them all around. Put a nice big shot into that enemy S-barn there, F4005, putting him onto a potential one shot to us now, I think, if we can try and land a shot, but he's just managed to get into cover before we're able to do that. So would have liked to taken out that tank, because obviously it's a dangerous tank. He has just got slapped by the artillery though, so he is now onto a one shot. And I thought I'm going to start to head back towards our cat, because I know there's a machine still alive, and I think an enemy E-75 as well, which got spotted that way. So I was sort of heading over there on the assumption that they'd be heading towards our cap to get the reset. But as I did that, 2 tanks actually got spotted in front of me, and it's a bit of a shame, because if I was looking the other way, I probably would have got a shot into them. But it is, it's how it is. We're just going to try and move and make our advance, and hopefully we can put a shot in here. Unfortunately, we missed the one-shot light tank there. Always going to be an awkward shot, but we're going to try and move in and finish off this enemy medium tank here to our left, which we should be able to finish off if we can just get the find the appropriate angle. But now I've sort of turned around. 2 tanks which I was looking to kill earlier are heading towards our cap circle. One of them gets taken out, and one is this machine which we were fighting earlier, who is a one shot to us. So we're going to try and make our advance and hopefully finish off that machine there. As I do that, enemy tank gets spotted to my left. He's a one shot though, so I should be able to finish him off nice and easily. Now the enemy artillery is looking to shoot us from the sky, but we're on 5 kills, so we've got an opportunity to get the Top Gun medal here. And I'm going to try and just get out of dodge here and just lose my spot, and then hopefully finish off this machine. The one thing I was concerned about when I made this push is that F3005 didn't get taken out, and this is where well, you'll find out. So I'm looking to shoot the machine, and then unfortunately for me, it's not going to go well. My ammo gets taken off, and that was quite frustrating, but because it kind of ruined the game for me. I was having a big game, but it's just how it is. we still go on to have a good game. We do go and get to the win there. I do skip ahead rather than making you watch the rest of that replay. But we've got 2 more replays to come, and obviously they get better as the video progresses. So let's move on to replay number 2. Okay, so here we are then for the second replay on Fisherman's Bay, where we've got 1 enemy fun police, 1 enemy light tank, and other than that, a fairly even match of, TDs, heavies, and medium tanks, which is quite nice to have that mixture. So we're going to use 1 rocket position, one rocket initially, just to try and give us a boost to get to our initial position. We want to try and use this ridge line to get cross shots at the start of the game, and that's quite often where I start to play when I've got a tank which does have some gun depression like this. I can use these sort of ridge lines, and hopefully with our friendly light tank spotting the cross, we might be able to get a few shots into these enemy tanks here. But I am playing a little bit risky in the sense that I'm quite far out on the left. I might actually end up potentially eating damage, and I do. I get shot from an unspotted bar. We do at least manage to put a revenge shot in, but not a great way to start the game. Losing sort of 1,000 hit points off of the back is, never ideal. But hopefully we can get a nice shot into this enemy heavy tank crossing though, and then at least we've traded out our hit points, and we do in fact do so, picking up a little bit of assistance and putting us on to just over 1,000 damage now. And this is why I really do like that sort of 650 alpha gun on this tank. It does suit the tank, and you can just you feel it when you hit those enemy tanks. You're really sort of slapping a big chunk of their hit points away there. Just going to try and move over to this sort of side of the ridge now. I'm going to stay where I am because I've got opportunities to get shots in, and these tanks crosses. Enemy bar actually tries to cross, and we managed to put another shot into him, putting that bar onto a 1 shot and putting us onto just shy of 2,000 damage. And we may even get the opportunity for the finish here if we're lucky. We're just going to wait, pre-aim, should be able to get the lead, just wait for him to come out of the buildings, and we do, and we finish him off. And I quite like the AP rounds on this tank because you've got that decent penetration, but also 4 AP rounds, decent shell velocity for an AP round, and they're quite good just for like normalisation on the armour. And I do really enjoy these AP, so I have sort of a even split. I still need the heat shells, those really tough targets. We're gonna just need those heats, and other than that, I mainly use the sort of AP shells. Going to try and get a nice shot into that chieftain again. Like I say, you can go through the side arm of a chieftain really easily, even if he's side scraping, because you can just sort of overmatch it because you've got that high caliber gun. Looking to try and hopefully maybe squeeze a secondary shot. Unfortunately, just swivels his turret at the right time there to prevent us getting a shot into the side of his turret. And we put him, only managed to get 1 shot in. I would have loved to put a secondary shot in. But it's still a really even game. Our team have started to, well, at least it appears they're starting to win the sort of town area. So if they're going to continue to push through, it's probably going to spot what's at the back. And right now I've got no sense of moving because I'm keeping all my rocket boosters, and I've got shots at sort of multiple areas of the map at the moment, just the way this game's playing out. I am going to start to push forward to see if I can get a shot in that chieftain, but as that happens, a 705 gets spotted, and we slap a shot in for it and set them on fire, putting us on to just shy of 4,000 damage now. And this TVP is also moved into the open, and we're hoping to land a nice shot into this tank if we can, and we do, and put us on about 4,400 damage now. And we just got to pull back into cover while we go back on reload. And with these tanks still in that location, we just have that cross shots helping our tanks out who are in the town, and then we get a nice shot again, putting us onto the 5,000 damage. And we still got, although we've lost that big shot of hit points at the start of the game, we still got 1,500 hit points, so we're still in a good place on this game. And our team are starting to win the 1-2 area, which is going to mean the enemy team are going to be trapped. It's going to give me a bit more freedom to push forward. So I was hoping to try and kill this chieftain here. Problem I've got is that chieftain is now hull down, and it's going to be awkward for us to over push to get a shot into him because the tank's covering him. So I'm going to have to pull back, and this is not good because the chieftain obviously has fantastic DPM, but I need to get back and hold down. I'm probably potentially going to eat another shot here. But which we do, which is not great, putting us on to not quite a 1 shot to the chieftain, but if he high rolls it could be. I then get slapped and put onto 124 hit points. So that wasn't a great sort of push there trying to kill that chieftain. Maybe I should have waited a bit more patient, but I did get a shot on the tank on the cross, so it wasn't a complete loss. Unfortunately, I am now, as well as being on a sliver of hit points, my ammo rack is destroyed and I've got 30 seconds left on my repair kit. So right now my DPM is terrible. And this game is still not won. Although it kind of feels like we're going to win, it's definitely not won yet. The tanks in the town have seemed to have been taken out, but we might be able to get a shot finishing off this medium tank here, which we do, getting up our second kill of the game, putting us under 6,200 damage now with 1,000 assistance. And now this enemy Soviet heavy tank has pushed forward again. We're trying to look to finish him off because it is a one shot to us here. We should be able to finish him off there. Unfortunately, we don't roll. I say it wasn't a one shot to us, but he is a one shot to us now. But it puts us on about 7,000 damage with 2 kills. And now there's only 3 tanks remaining. Hoping to finish this tank off because I've still got 5 rocket boosters left, and I might be able to use those to try and boost the remaining damage. But unfortunately, bouncing that shot's not great because it means it's less likely to me to get to the rest of the damage before they all get taken out by our friendly team. So I should be able to finish this tank off. I'm in a good position. I'm a hold down. I do get the kill, and now I need to use those rocket boosters, hoping to get there. This enemy Yag E100 is still pretty much full health, but he's got tanks just surrounding him. I think maybe if I killed that 705 just a little bit quicker, then I might have had an opportunity to get one shot into this tanks. But as it stands, I think my hopes are just getting up. I just wanted one big one just to boost me above that 7k mark. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to get there. I'm getting so close, and then no, unfortunately gets clipped out by the Barat. But that's it for replay number 2, but we still have the best for last. So let's just get to the scoreboard, then we'll move on to the final replay. So we finished that one off with 3 kills, 7,000 damage, 1,000 assistance, the high caliber and the first class. And let's move on to the final replay of that video. Okay, so here we are for Halfaya Pass. This time we don't have any artillery to deal with, and there is one enemy light tank. So initially I'm going to try and use my rocket boosters to get into my position as sort of the, I guess the sort of centre of the map I like to take from this spawn. It's like the sort of F7 sort of area. You'll see when I get there. But I like to take take that sort of central position so that I can get shots into multiple areas, and then I can basically decide whether I need to push or where to go from there. And not having to worry about the artillery is also really nice as well. So I've used, I think, 3 rocket boosters already. I'm probably going to try and, I might have to use one more to get position, or I might just save it because I'm not actually getting spotted at the moment. So I think, you know what, I'm going to save my rocket boosters because I want to try and get to this early position across there, but I think I might actually just be able to get across before I guess basically get held up. But as I make my advance, unfortunately there's an enemy heavy tank which is holding me here. Now I don't really want to eat a shot from this tank, but it's also kind of annoying because I want to try and get up to this position. So I'm trying to make him bait a shot. In the end I thought, you know what, I'm just going for it. Thankfully he misses, and we're at least now able to get our position. Because I wanted to get here early because tanks like this enemy Valor, who's just caught right out in the open now, I just have 3 farms into this tank. So it's going to be an easy pen for us. Get that shot in, roll actually for, you know, just above average, and get back, well, sorry, get high roll massively, sorry, for 750 damage there, which is really nice. You can high roll on this tank, and then we're able to finish him off, picking up our first kill of the game. So a decent start to this game here. And now it looks like quite a few enemy tanks have been spotted on the other side of the map, which quite often they don't really push that way. But that's just something I'm just going to have to bear in mind, because if a lot of their team have gone that way, then it means there can't be as many tanks this side. So I'm going to start to make a push, because you can look like most of our team are sort of with us or down the other flank. So I want to try and kill these tanks so I can get into, we just progress with this game basically. I was looking to try and finish off the Gorilla 15, but he gets shut down by our 58 heavy. And now there's only one tank behind us. It's a 60 TP, but he's about to be surrounded by lots of tanks, and I'm going to try and push up to the ridge line up here to stop these enemy tanks from being able to shoot our friendly tanks as they try and deal with the 60 TP. Put them under a little bit of pressure, because I can get hull down. The only thing I'm concerned is if the 60 TP turns to shoot me, but you would like to think he's going to probably be fighting all the tanks which are about to surround him here. So enemy F3005, we slap one into that tank there, which is good. Then we just duck back round into cover while we're on reload. That's where I did have the HE rounds loaded. You know, you would have picked up a lot of damage, but we should be able to pen the cupola quite capably with this tank, and we do. Unfortunately, he puts one into us as well, but at least we trade 1 for 1. Hopefully we're in a good position here. Then there's still, you know, quite a lot of hit points left. I'm going to try and finish off this F3005. Thankfully, he bounces off of our turret armor there, and we block, saving ourselves 1,000 hit points, which is good, and putting him onto a one-shot as well. So I'm going to try and poke now and get a nice shot again into the side of this tank's turret there as it was turned. I'm just keeping an eye on the IS-7 who's approaching us from behind there, but he has got a tank to sort of deal with, so hopefully we can try and get a shot into the side armour of this tank there, putting him onto a one-shot now. And now I think I should probably, I'm waiting to get the kill shot, but really I'm wasting my time. I should be moving to just try and deal with the IS-7, to be honest with you, just to get a head start and get there before, before he gets taken out by a friendly team. But I'm going to use my rocket booster here, and this is why the tier 10 is quite nice, having that 6 rocket boosters. It means you can use more to get into your initial position and still have some left for the end of the game. And we just set off the ammo rack of the IS-7 and pick up 1,700 hit points, putting us on to 6,000 damage now and 2 kills. And there's still 7 tanks remaining, and having that sort of high caliber gun, it does increase your chance of ammo racking tanks and setting tanks on fire. We then get a nice shot into the rear of the M103 there, and we're just waiting and just trying to get as much damage as we can. We're all up already close to the 7,000 mark. I think there's still 2 E100s left, and I don't know how much hit points they've got, but I'm getting excited at this point, hoping that they are full health. And it looks like they are full health, because that's going to give us an opportunity to get some real damage left. Unfortunately, our speed boosters are out now, but hopefully we can just try and get a shot at us 2 in before these tanks get taken out, because I want to try and boost my damage here. We should be able to get a full shot into the rear of that E100, which we do. We're now going to turn our attention to the last remaining E100 down the right, and hopefully we can get a shot in. We're already up to 8,000 damage. Can we land another big one here before we get sort of mincemeated by our team? And we do, and we set them on fire, and we pick up our 3rd kill of the game, and we end that one with a really nice game. I think getting just shy of 9,000 damage there, and picking up 3 kills as well, and blocking sort of 1,500. A tiny bit of assistance. We do in fact get the ace tanker and the high caliber. So that's it for the replay. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your support. If you do enjoy the channel, please remember to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel out. And as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight! Hadouken!